Throughout the day, President Moon continued to emphasize the significance of the alliance between Korea and the U.S. He even clarified that his policies toward North Korea are in sync with that of President Trump. Hwang Ho-jun with more.
President Moon Jae-in and U.S. Vice President Mike Pence held a wreath dedication ceremony at the Korean War Veterans Memorial on Friday, paying their respects to the troops who lost their lives while taking the, quote, noble steps for freedom. Around 80 surviving Korean War veterans also joined the ceremony. Later in the day, President Moon visited the Center for Strategic and International Studies, a Washington-based think tank focused on political, economic, and security issues around the world. It was his final evening scheduled during his 4-day trip to Washington, D.C. At least 150 former high-ranking officials, scholars, and opinion leaders joined the event. President Moon took the opportunity to reiterate the importance of the South Korea-U.S. alliance. He said the partnership should be used to deter the current threats and dangers posed by Pyongyang. However, President Moon also emphasized that both he and President Trump agreed dialogue with North Korea should not be taken off the table.
나와 트럼프 대통령은 북한에 대한 적대시 정책을 추진하지 않습니다. 우리는 북한을 공격할 의도가 없으며 북한 정권의 교체나 정권의 붕괴를 원하지도 않습니다. 인위적으로 한반도 통일을 가속화하지도 않을 것입니다.
President Moon asserted denuclearization is the only way for North Korea to guarantee its survival, and that decision lies with North Korea itself. Regarding the deployment of the U.S. missile defense system THAAD on the Korean peninsula, President Moon once again clarified his stance. The South Korean leader said he respects the decision made between the two countries, but stressed Seoul's effort to observe the due process of law would also be beneficial for the growth of the ironclad alliance. Addressing the scholars of the U.S., President Moon reassured the audience that his policy toward North Korea is in line with that of President Trump in seeking dialogue with North Korea when the right conditions are met. And Moon asked the audience to gather their wisdom for him and Trump to come up with those specific conditions. Hwang Ho-jun, Arirang News, Washington.